there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome, thanks for joining me today. Doing another classic rock lick today. This one is from box 4. So I'm just going to jump right in. Let's first make sure that we are all talking about the same thing. Now we started with box 1 at the A, the 5th fret, box 2 at the C, box 3 at the D. So box 4 is going to be at the E, the 12th fret on the bottom string. 12, 15, 12. This note, by the way, this 12th fret on the 5th string is really important because it's a root. So that's an A. I often start this box from here. So I encourage you to practice it from there as well as from there. But on the 5th string, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 13, 15. Now you saw me use my 2nd and my 4th fingers. Sometimes you'll see my 1st and 3rd. Don't get married to any particular fingering here. It depends on what you're playing. 12, 15. If we add the blues variant, 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 13 is the blue note. 14, 12, 14, 13, 15, 16. Obviously the different fingering because I need that 16th fret. That's the blue note. 12, 15. And notice again, I stopped at the 12th fret of the 5th string. That's the one that's going to get you the sound. If you want it to sound like an A minor pentatonic scale, it helps to start and stop on A. And I love this particular pattern because, like, if I'm in D minor, for example, it's right there. If I'm in E minor, it's right there. So box 4 may be a box that you're not super comfortable with, that you're not super familiar with, but I hope you'll get that way because it is one of my favorites. With that, let's jump into the lick. Now in this lick, I wanted to cover a couple of different things. The first is, I've talked about the fact that memorization is important. Well, this lick literally walks up the box, but it does so in a way that is rhythmically interesting. If you simply play and go up the box, it's not the most interesting thing. However, in this case, I'm going to start not on the root, but on the very next note, the 15th fret of the 5th string, and I'm going to do, and that's going to be on the and, not on the one. Now, I did notice in some of the comments on my previous licks, hey, those start on beat 1. Yes, they do. These are classic rock licks. They're not blues licks. In blues, we very rarely will start a lick on beat 1, and I talk about that a lot. In classic rock, starting right on the downbeat is not only acceptable, it's oftentimes a great sound, and it's a little bit more encouraged. So yes, those of you who noticed, hey, those start on beat 1, you're right, but they're rock licks. They're not blues licks, so it's okay. Now, on this one, we're not starting on beat 1, which adds to the intrinsic interest of the lick. We're going to start at the C, the 15th fret of the 5th string, and I'm going to walk up. I'm just walking up the box. 12, 14, 12, 12, 14, 13, 13, 15, 12. So that should be much easier to memorize. Please don't memorize it by 12, 14, 12, 12, 4. Like, don't memorize numbers. Look at the pattern that it's using to ascend through the box. 2 notes on one string, then the next string. 2 notes on that string, then the next string. 2 notes on that string, then the next string. Okay? And rhythmically, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? It's straight 8th notes. I know there's 16th notes written, but you just play them in pairs. If they always come in pairs, you can treat them like 8th notes. And then we're going to bend up. And what's important about that bend is that the 15th fret of the top is that when I get to the top, that's the root, right? That's the A. And so what I have then is I'm doing a hammer-on from 12 to 15, then down to the 13th fret on the 2nd string. And I'm ending again on the root. 14 pulls off to 12 and comes back to 14 on the 3rd string. Again, that's a root. That's important. So by getting all of those roots, I get a nice spread. So if I put this all together, 1 and 2 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One more time. A little bit quicker this time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so let's do like we've done in some of these previous ones. Let me play it a few times against the track. You try to echo it back to me. Again, I would try to play it with me exactly and try and echo it back. Now this ends at roughly beat 3 or 4, so you're gonna have to jump in pretty quick after I'm done. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now remember, this is the fourth one, right? This is the fourth lick. So make sure that you're continuing to do licks 1 through 3. Okay, don't let any of them slip. We're gonna do a lick for box 5 tomorrow, and then we're gonna put them all together in a solo. So if you're having trouble keeping up, obviously you can come back to the solo a little bit later, but if you are keeping up and you are keeping these licks under your fingers, that solo should be really easy. And 5 licks can turn into a lot of different stuff, right? I'm gonna just play them through, but you could do so many different things. You could repeat one, you can pull out little bits and pieces, little sections. There's so many things you can do. And in the 50 Classic Rock Licks by the Box course that this idea comes from, remember, by the way, these licks are not in the course. These are, I'll say, bonus licks, but they're very much in the same style as what I used in the course. In the course, there's the bonus solos where you'll see I use bits and pieces of stuff. I go between all the different boxes all over the place. So you really get to see how solos can be made from these licks. So make sure that you count them out loud, that you play them with the jam track, that you do all the things. Make sure you get them memorized, all the things, and then you'll be in good shape. Come back tomorrow. We'll do a lick from box 5. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.